right, and here we are, Saturday night again. Hello, truthers. We having problems already, Barb.
I cannot see you.
Okay, nobody sees me. Hold on. You can hear me, but you can't see me. Let's see here.
You have your camera on there, handsome.
Hey, it's a new computer. Oh, you know what? There we go. I know what I did. I bumped. There I am. Okay. Oh my gosh. As you can see, I'm such a professional with a new computer this week and everything, my friends. And I tell you, and I've already screwed things up. So anyway, so welcome everybody to Mitch's World here. I am your most excellent host, Mitch Stockdale, here live in Newark, Ohio. And with me, as always, is my technical advisor, my producer, my one and only, my wife, Barb. Party on, Barb.
Party on, Mitch.
Hey, 2 weeks in a row and she got it right. Okay, there we go. We are so proud of you, Barb. Okay, thank you. Welcome to everybody who's in the chat room tonight. You be there. Thank you very much. We kind of seem to get people later on down the road after the show's not live. So first off the bat, we want to thank everybody who has been supporting this channel. I appreciate it very much. We're doing it, not just for, just to get a little publicity. No, we are doing it just to remember our friends, our fellow truthers who have passed away in the last year, and also to remember those people who are wrongfully incarcerated as well. As we know, there are so many in this world right at this moment. And one of those people who are wrongfully incarcerated is a young man by the name of Daniel Holtzclaw. And those of us who are in the truth world know that he was a former Oklahoma City police officer who was wrongfully convicted for multiple assaults on women in Oklahoma City, and now is incarcerated for this for 263 years, I believe, was the unreal sentence. Absolutely just unbelievable what they came up with, especially with the evidence and such. So, but we do have a special guest, like I said, with us as well. And she is the sister of Daniel, and that is Jenny Holtzclaw. So let's see if we can bring her in without causing any problems here. Okay, and there she is. Jenny, hello.
Hello.
Jenny, okay.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hey, we're doing okay. We're just
Good.
just trying to keep the show up here. I know we had last Saturday, we had the worst problems we ever have. And oh my gosh, and I started off bad with my camera being on. So, anyways, so we're here. Thank you so much, Jenny, for taking some time and joining us.
Of course.
To talk about your brother and such. And I guess right off the bat, tell us about you, Jenny. As far as, are you older or younger than Daniel?
I'm about a year older than him.
And okay, and I asked a few people this week to pose some questions to you to to learn more about you and about Daniel's case as well. The questions I got is, what was it like growing up with Daniel? What kind of brother was he?
It was good. For the most part, we were closer in the fact that I have an older sister. We both have an older sister. And I actually got along better with Daniel than I did with my own sister. We like the same kind of music, the same kind of friends. Maybe, I don't know, maybe just because we were a year apart rather than my sister and I are 3 years apart. So maybe that's the reason. But we just had a lot more in common with each other. We played video games together. We did a lot of those different things that, going with each other to different places. We were just close in nature. Just we had a lot more things in common than we did with our sister. And I would say even probably still to this day, it's still like that.
Yeah, his biggest voice out there, I've noticed
For sure.
through social media.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And even like with football, I love sports. And so he played football. So I was always, his champion when it came to sports. I built him his first website whenever I wanted him to try to get in with the NFL and send off his stats over. I, built a little website that gave all his stats that we could put on there and sent that off to the different scouts. So I've always been his champion ever since, the beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I've enjoyed listening to you talk about him, unfortunately for the bad circumstances as well, but at the same time, just how passionately you talk about him. And I just think it's awesome that what you do to help him every day. And I hope that with all of this, this truth movement and everything, that we're going to get the word out and get the right people to start listening, and hopefully start, getting that a big mistake was made, very big mistake. So
for sure.
Question that was asked to me is, okay, we'll go back a couple of years when it all began. When did Daniel kind of suspect something was going on? It was right there at that first interrogation.
Yeah, it was during that interrogation is whenever he had first ever heard of an allegation of sexual assault. And so from there is whenever, he had spoken with my parents, and that's whenever I had found out about it.
Yes. And right off the bat, of course, I'm sure everybody like Daniel was like, what are you talking about?
I was definitely shocked.
In that interview when he was being interrogated or questioned there, I mean, he just had an absolute baby face going on there. He's like, what are you talking about? They were building it up and such. So, a little bit about your mom and dad. Your dad is a police officer as well. He works for a different department. Oklahoma? Where does he work?
It's about an hour and a half north of Oklahoma City in Enid, Oklahoma. And he's a lieutenant there currently. And so we've grown up in a law enforcement family. My mother was also a police officer in Japan. That's actually how my parents met. And then she got out of the force once she got married with my father back many years ago. And they're still married to this day. And so my dad, with him being in the police, being a police officer now, he can't speak too much publicly about Daniel's case and the fact of the conflict right there. But he is very vocal, just like how I am. I can actually, say things about Oklahoma City Police Department, whereas he can't, just because of his situation right now, being still employed as a police officer. But we came from a law enforcement family. We have other family members that are also police officers as well. So we definitely have the blue line in our family.
Exactly. You talked a little bit earlier about Daniel going to the NFL. What happened that it pushed him in the direction of joining the police department and being a police officer?
Yeah, so he got a tryout for the Detroit Lions, and unfortunately that kind of fell through. It's such a hard avenue to be able to get in, even as far as he did get to be able to play in there. And then there was some options in the indoor football league that they were like the Canada Football League that they wanted him to join. And so Daniel was trying to debate, should I do that when he really wanted to do the NFL? And then his next passion was, obviously, he actually received his bachelor's in criminal justice. So he did want to go the police route, if the NFL, the football didn't play through. So that's why he ended up doing it, just follow his father's footsteps in regards to joining the police department. He knows it's a good career. He saw his dad being able to still have a family work life as well. So he wanted to go back to Oklahoma. That's where he was raised. So it just kind of fell through that's what he wanted to do as his next step.
No, when I think about it, Barbara, we're so saddened, what happened to Daniel and all of you as well, because it looked like he had a very promising career going there with the police department as well. And then this happens. I guess one of the questions that somebody did pose to me is why, what is your opinion of why this happened to Daniel? Why was he the target, so to speak, of what was going on there?
People have asked that to me as well. I wouldn't say necessarily that he was a target. I think it just kind of snowballed from the first allegation and the detectives. I mean, it was clear and evident how Detective Kim Davis said before she even interrogated Daniel that he was guilty. So that already put those blinders on from her that Daniel was guilty before she even interrogated him. So I think from there they just fit every quote unquote evidence to meet that narrative of him being guilty without actually searching for the.
Exactly, and she was awful. Watching her in that Michelle Malkin interview, and on the follow up as well. She was very opinionated about this. She was going with more of how she felt about the case as opposed to the evidence that was right in front of her. Like you said, she had it made up right from the get go.
Exactly.
He was guilty. So
and it's really sad just because. Oh no! I just wanted to emphasize it's actually sad too that with someone as a police officer, a detective being on the force for over 20 years, how she did not even know what touch DNA is. That's just baffling that someone can be on the force and not even know or be trained. Especially with all of the things that's happening in today's world, we're hearing about police reform and police training. They need to be trained on forensic evidence, not just police brutality or anything like that, but also with training and such force with how DNA is transforming and how science is turning into what it is today. A lot of people are being exonerated because of the new DNA that they're able to search more on as well.
Yes. Well, hold on one second. I'm told I've got to.
I think it's still muted. Oh, there it goes. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
It continues to be a work in progress here. As you can tell, we are very amateurs here.
No, it's no problem.
So,
okay.
Thanks for understanding. So,
yeah, no problem.
What I was trying to say before I started making things difficult here. These officers seem to back each other up. Happen. How was Daniel being treated when it all started hitting the fan, so to speak, as far as fellow officers?
It's still breaking up a little bit.
Okay, still no good. Okay. Well, you know what? I don't think we're going to go live anymore. So we can edit. Can you hear me now at all?
Yeah.
What I was trying to say, third time now, when everything started happening there, when the word started getting out around the police department, how was Daniel treated with his fellow officers?
Well, from there, basically he didn't speak with anyone because immediately after the interrogation, he had to turn his badge and everything in. So his communication with other officers pretty much dwindled from there.
As well.
Yeah.
The question that was asked of me is, what was the scene with the trial as well, with all the Black Lives Matter things that was going on outside the chamber, people in the courtroom as well? How was that influencing the trial, do you believe?
Heavily. I mean, you could hear them chanting. I went every day for the 6 weeks that Daniel's trial was happening, and you can hear the people. I mean, they were a lot of people outside of the courthouse. You can hear them. We were on the second floor of the courthouse, and you can hear them chanting, "Give him life, give him life." And all the judge had said is just ignore them out there. How can you ignore when you're hearing chanting and protesting happening outside of the courthouse? I mean, it was literally a circus atmosphere, both outside of the courthouse and then inside the courthouse. Anytime that Daniel was brought into the courtroom, you can hear people yelling and screaming, saying mean things towards him, rapist and just all kinds of things. So the jurors heard everything. The jurors went to the same restrooms that everyone else did. They weren't sequestered. So it was not as, it should not have ever gotten that far, and they should have definitely not been able to use the same restrooms, the same hallways as the jurors were.
they were definitely tainted their decisions, because it certainly sounded like with what was going on there, if they were to say Daniel was not guilty, they might have been fearing for their lives as well, which is just sad that had to come into the decision making. When the decision was coming down as far as the sentence is concerned, was Daniel confident that he was going to be exonerated at that time, or was he not sure what they were going to do?
Yeah, our family definitely felt very confident. We didn't think that they had any evidence whatsoever. You know, I kept saying, Daniel, there's no way they're going to convict you. I mean, what can they put you behind bars for? There's zero direct evidence. There's nothing that says that he did anything. And remember, our system's based off beyond a reasonable doubt. There's a threshold that you have to meet in order to convict someone. How can Daniel get the most number of years, 62 years, for the accuser that said the officer that raped her was a short black male? How did those jurors come to that conclusion? I mean, he received the most number of years for that allegation alone. So tell me that's beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, it's just, when you break down each of the allegations, each of the accusers' stories, you cannot convict someone based off of that. And that's just what's so frustrating. And once people start digging into this case, you can see that. You can see exactly why I and so many people around the world are fighting for him, because there's nothing that you can, Daniel's innocent. There's nothing that you can prove that Daniel did. I mean, I would like for someone to please tell me what Daniel is in prison for 263 years. What evidence do they have? What does the state of Oklahoma have against Daniel Holtzclaw?
Exactly.
So I get very frustrated. I get very passionate about this, just because I would like someone to tell me what Daniel's in prison for, besides the allegations he said, she said. You know, it just comes back down to, it's very political. I mean, that summer, you know, of all of this that had happened was the uproot of Black Lives Matter. There was a lot of, you know, police brutality that they were, you know, wanting to pin this on. And I think Daniel just was kind of like the downfall police officer. They don't care that he was actually innocent. They just wanted a police officer in jail.
Yes, and now we're seeing these victims are getting out of jail and such. Now some of them have been arrested multiple times, and it seems like they're just getting free walks out there. They're not staying in jail very long for the crimes they're committing.
Yeah, and to me, it is, and it's kind of baffling, just in the sense of how hard it is to overturn a wrongful conviction. And whereas criminals can get out multiple times, repeat offenders, yet they can get out and commit more crime and back on the streets. But then there's someone that's never had a history of any kind of violence, any kind of allegations whatsoever. And then they throw him into prison for 263 years. And it's so hard to overturn, or for anyone in power to see, look, there isn't a huge injustice in the state of Oklahoma. Can you please review this case? And it's still hard to get that from other people to look at Daniel's case.
Yeah, like our people in positions of power and in the court system have a hard time that they made mistakes, as we're finding out with these other wrongful convictions as well. And like you talk about the length that it takes to get someone out of prison who is innocent, compared to someone who's guilty is walking right out. As well.
Yeah,
it's absolutely ridiculous. So I wanted to go back real quick. You were talking about the touch evidence and the training that was needed. The one thing that cracks me up is when Detective Gregory took and put him in that bag with no gloves, crumpled them up, and just painted everything right there. And it tells you right there about the lack of training that he had as well. It was right.
Yeah, no, that's definitely frustrating, just because, you know, there was a known male DNA that was in that mixture. So who's to say that it's not Detective Rocky Gregory's DNA that was in that mixture? You know, you have that on top of his mother-in-law is the DNA forensic analyst on the case. Talk about conflict of interest. How is that possible? Why was that not ever brought up before or during trial, that was his mother-in-law there? I mean, how is that not a conflict of interest? And how many other cases? Still to this day, Michelle Malkin has submitted a FOIA request asking for every case that Rocky Gregory and Elaine Taylor both worked on, and still to this day, they have not provided that information to her. They say they don't have a list like that.
Yeah, right. And I've got a full head of hair, you know.
Yeah.
It takes forever.
Yeah, exactly.
When's the last time that you spoke with Daniel?
He actually just called a little bit ago, just asked how everything is going. I told him I was jumping on to go speak with you, so he remembered you had mentioned that to him. So yeah, he said thank you for doing this as well. But you know, we talk often. Yeah, we talk often, and you know, he just calls right now with the whole COVID thing going on. It's kind of been they still haven't had visitors yet, so that's been kind of heartbreaking. Just because they look forward to those visits where they can actually see someone and someone outside of the prison walls, you know, and their family and friends and loved ones. But right now, it seems like I don't know when they're going to be able to do it yet. So hopefully soon. But we're not sure. I have a feeling it's not going to be till the beginning of the year, just because the winter months are coming up and the flu season and all of that, just like outside world too. But yeah, I mean, he's still holding up. He still has faith that he's going to be out one day, and he's just always wondering if anyone new has contacted us or if we've contacted anyone else. But majority of the time, he's just bored in there. There's not much. I mean, it's the same thing every day, and your days kind of bind together, unfortunately.
Yeah, as I shared with you, and I've shared with my audience as well. I'm getting a lot of feedback here. Are you hearing me? Okay, I'm hearing it.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you hearing me? Okay. Okay. It's on our end here. As I shared with you when we first started talking as well, and my audience knows this too. I went to prison myself years ago. As well, I know absolutely, and I was glad that he got a tablet. I heard, and it's been watching entertainment on that too. So I was glad that I could help out with that. And I've enjoyed. I've kind of made my Monday ritual now to write to Daniel, and so I'm happy to do that. He wrote me back a couple of times now, so I'm glad to hear from him as well. So because I shared with him about my story and everything too. So where is Daniel as far as the appeal process? Where are you at right now?
So we are due March of 2021 for the post-conviction appeal. And then the civil trial, I believe, is postponed to the beginning of 2021 as well. It was going to be this fall, but it looks like they're pushing it back to the beginning of 2021. So unfortunately, Daniel has so far 2 appeals that have been denied, both the direct appeal and then the Supreme Court denied. So now that we have some new evidence, we're going to be able to present that of March of 2021.
That's terrific. You know, that like I said, start getting the real truth going out there as well with this case. And like you said, the new evidence that you're speaking of as well. I know that, like I said, the community now is getting into Daniel's case. Out there, they're really deep, and I know one of them, Kay, talks to Daniel as well, and he's drumming up a lot of support worldwide. He really is, and I'm glad that we're having the chance to try, hopefully, like I said, spread the word about his innocence and the travesty of this case. As far as where you're on the social media world and such, can you plug up sites you frequent and talk and share as well, and share that with our audience, please?
Yeah, I'm very vocal on my Facebook, Jenny Holtzclaw, and then also on Twitter, which is at Justice for Daniel H. And then you can go to freedanielholtzclaw.com or justicefordanielholtzclaw.com. You can hear Daniel's podcast. There's an in-depth podcast that Brian Bates have done. Also, Michelle Malkin has done several documentaries as well. And I have those posted on the Free Daniel Holtz Club page. I have them posted on my Facebook. I'm continuously always posting on there. So I feel like Facebook is the most easiest way to get in contact with me, or in regards to learning more about Daniel's case, I always post information on there. And then Daniel, also I have this wrongful conviction podcast that Jason Flom has out there, and Daniel was able to be a guest on there and tell his case on that platform as well. So Daniel has been very fortunate in the sense of, unfortunately, his case is a high profile case. Everyone saw his verdict go live and viral. Some may have made that as a laughing stock, and others can see that those tears of crying were legit, of him being so shocked of him being convicted for something he did not do. And so, so I mean, his case has been previewed on many different, ABC 2020 did a documentary, and then also Crime Watch Daily did it a few times actually on Daniel's case. So his case has been able to get good exposure and people learning more about it. And once you just dive into it, you'll see that Daniel is innocent, and so it's great that so many people of different countries, like you mentioned, it's going national, worldwide, in the sense of he's been able to get his story out there. And so we're very grateful that it is touching people, and people are saying how wrongful convictions do happen.
Yes. And I can tell you from experience that I've seen when with the Truther movement, when we've been working with the Stephen Avery out of Wisconsin, these people that we have, they're coming up with all kinds of hidden goodies as well. And I know that once they really start putting their teeth in the Daniel case as well, they're going to find his release. I'm confident that they will. I'm absolutely confident they will. So I had a couple quick questions from the chat room. I'll let you go because I'm keep you all on the show, the whole show here. So let's see here. Okay. With Daniel, with COVID going on, are all the programs suspended in prison right now? Is he pretty much just locked up all the time, or is he in a cell?
Yeah, just because the sense of everyone has basically been in quarantine, they haven't really let anyone from outside come in without. So they've been able to keep their numbers of COVID cases completely down. So he's been able to get out of his cell and communicate with other inmates. He does work out a lot in there just to keep his sanity going, and he stays busy writing to his supporters. So if people want to write to him, you can write to him at P.O. Box 1193, Poway, California 92064. And so that's another way to get in communication with him. So he stays busy, either writing people or sitting in a cell or getting out and, talking with other inmates as well.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was still staying pretty buff, because it looked like he was in great shape there, when he was working. He was pretty big.
Yeah, that's kind of his mental, he just has always loved working out. So just for his everyday, routine, he loves working out.
That's great. Well, Jenny, I want to tell you from Barb, who's right next to me here. You can't see her, but she's right here. We want to tell you that we are 1,000% in Daniel's corner. We absolutely are, and we're going to keep fighting for Daniel and for the rest of his life. That day he walks out, and I hope it happens very, very soon. I really do.
Yeah, thank you. There's one more thing I do want to mention, that there's a change.org petition that you can go on there and sign. There's been over 50,000 signatures from people around the world, towards our governor, Kevin Stitt. And I actually did a video and posted yesterday on my Facebook in regards to, I'm hoping that Kevin Stitt will look at Daniel's case, whether it's now or the very last day of him being in office. I hope that he does make a difference and does take a chance and look at Daniel's case. So I'm hoping between the petitions and everyone writing, because so many people have written to the office or called up to the office, I'm hoping that he will one day look into the case. Or the next governor. But I really hope it happens in Governor Kevin Stitt's hands.
Yeah, just hopefully very Yeah, like I said, we have an innocent friend there in prison that needs to be home. Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
so Barb's got one.
We are Daniel Strong.
We are Daniel Strong. That's what we got for the chat room.
Thank
We are
you. Thank you.
all right, Jenny. Well, I won't
Welcome
keep you.
to Daniel.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining and putting up with me on my screen. I appreciate it. very
Of
much.
course, no problem.
Take care, and we'll
Thank
talk to
you,
you.
you as well.
Thanks,
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
Jenny.
Bye. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
There you go.
All right, got me. Okay. All right, my friends. It was difficult me to talk to Jenny right there. I was getting a lot of feedback in my ear here, so we're more tech issues. We're gonna go up, try to fix that. So hopefully next week we might be a little bit better. But the way we're going right now, we're gonna have issues right and left. Oh well. But that was just awesome that we could talk to her for a few minutes as well. I had promised her that I wouldn't keep her the entire show, so if it felt kind of rushed, I'm sorry as well. I know there's a lot of questions we all want to ask her, but I hope that you will. You can certainly reach out to her, like she said on Facebook, is the easiest way to get messages to her as well. Or if you want to, you could also send them to Tell the Witch. Yeah, Barb's going to bring that one up there too. If you have a question that we'd like to get to Jenny as well, you didn't think of, or a question about Daniel, as Barb is trying to bring it up here. I'm sitting here. He's pushing it. Okay, and
I'm pushing the button.
so they're pushing the button, and nothing's coming across the screen here, as we can see, except my hand right there. Okay.
Yes.
Tell the witch at yahoo.com. Tell the witch or yahoo.com, or you can get to me on Twitter and DM me as well, and I will certainly forward it. So, but again, a big shout out and a thank you to Jenny Holtzclaw for giving us a few minutes there to talk about herself, her family, and Daniel as well. So, all right, we're going to move on. We got a few more things to do for the show tonight. And then Barb and I are going to decide we're going to do this anymore, because I tell you, we are not producing a very good product here right now. I know we have tech issues, and I'll tell you one thing. I got to work on my interview skills too, Barb. I don't think I'm good at this at all. Gosh.
You just gotta talk. Just talk like you always do. You have the gift of gab.
I have the gift of gab, but when I'm looking at the chat room and I'm trying to watch you and you're flagging me down and she's sending me notes here for questions to ask Jenny, oh my gosh. I can't multitask. Okay, right off the bat, like I said, I work off a new computer here, so I don't know how great I look. I hope I look awesome. The man in the back you see behind me is my late father, right there too. So that's why I got him back there. He was my buddy. He passed away about almost 5 years ago now, from dementia and Alzheimer's. So I wanted to show him off too as well, so you can see where I got my great looks. Okay. Next, the beard is going to stay. Okay, yes, it shows my age. I know it's nice and white and gray and all that, because I'm pushing 53, my friend. So
I thought it didn't come till November.
Well,
October.
well, it's October. It's kind of the pre-beard, so to speak, Barb.
The pre-beard.
The pre-beard. The pre-beard. So okay, now we're going to move on to more fun here. Okay. Someone sent us another message that way.
Oh, it was Jenny saying thank you.
Oh, okay. Jenny texted me and saying thank you as well. Apologize to her for my lack of skills as well. Okay, we're going to go on. The results of last week's douchebag of the week. Let's see if we can get any of this to come up, Barb. Let's try this. Last week is a picture. We had a half picture of him last week. Let's see if we can get it. There he is. Now I can't say his first state in the union right now as far as outbreaks is concerned.
What state is that?
I'll say I just say the state. It's the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin, and this guy needs to start opening up his eyes and start taking care of his state and start looking at cases like Brendan Dassey and Stephen Avery, who are innocent. So there's your winner, douchebag of the week from last week. So okay, but we're going to move on to more fun here, because this one's going to be fun this week. We got to do another douchebag of the week, and what we're going to do is power couples. We got two awesome power couples here. Okay, well, let's see if Barb can bring one. Well, first contestants are.
Is it Bert and Ernie?
We'll go Bert and Ernie. And we'll go Bert and Ernie. All right. Yeah, you can see part of their names. I'm not going to say their names like I told you before because I don't want to be sued and all that libel, but I call them Bert and Ernie. These gentlemen were part of the lawsuit that was Stephen Avery's lawsuit from 1985 for his first wrongful conviction of the rape there in 85 as well. These wonderful losers found all the key evidence there to help convict Daniel, oh no, excuse me, Stephen as well. It's amazing. And a total conflict of interest, but they discovered the evidence that was admissible as well. Worth and less, as you know, absolutely, as we all know. Bert and Ernie. So those are contestant number one. Now, okay, and now
we're gonna go for 2 minutes.
I want to hear longer because I want to say nothing but bad things about that. I want Colbert. Okay, I said his name. Oh, I'm going to sue now. I want to see his Netflix lawsuit. I want to see him demonstrate that cabinet. I want to see how that magic key came out of nowhere and hit the floor like it did, just exactly like it did. I want that demonstrated. So I want that lawsuit to go to trial because I want that on TV, and I want to show me how that was done because it didn't happen, as we all know. That key was planted.
They are the dastardly duo.
The dastardly duo, and that's putting it mildly, is what they are. They should have had nothing to do with the second case. Of course, the second case should never happen to start with, as we all know. But they'll tell me they were giving advice and equipment. They ran point. Yeah, it doesn't take a Sherlock to figure that one out as well. So Bert and Ernie right there, worth and less as well. So I know all of you can see a lot more. I've seen a lot of colorful comments right there. You're hitting it right on the head there. Oh yeah, Alice, absolutely. Rhonda as well. Oh, perfect.
Why does this feel like it's going longer than
because I said everything too fast. We're waiting for the next one to show up. Okay, there they are. Okay, from Daniel's case as well. As we now affectionately call them, Rocky and Bullshit Winkle as well. Two detectives that do have no clue what they're doing. Jenny talked about right there that the one detective, Bullshit Winkle, did not even know what touch DNA was, and she's been a detective for 20 years.
Maybe she should have retired.
She should have retired a long time ago. She should have been just looking at parking meters, as well, instead of doing a case like this as well. And Daniel was guilty right from the get-go. Oh, no. Absolutely. She had predetermined what he was. And okay.
Because he snapped, right?
Oh, he snapped. Yes. According to their investigation, when they went to Detroit, where the Holtzclaws lived for many years, they checked it and see if Daniel had a history of violence, of being a mad person. They couldn't find one person to say any negative about Daniel as far as his behaviors and how he treats people, ex-girlfriends and such. They found nothing. So she comes up with, oh, he must have snapped. Yeah, give me a break as well. So, and she has got her partner. Oh my God, his head is up her ass so much he can lick her nostrils.
Very good.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know that's how. Yes, absolutely have no clue what to do. And we saw him and what he did when he took Daniel's pants. We saw that, puts his bare hand in a paper bag and just crumbles up those jeans or his uniform pants and just throws them in the bag. Oh my gosh.
She's now working in the tech department.
Oh my God. I pity anybody who's got evidence is going to be coming her way. She can barely turn on a light switch. I'll tell you. Yeah. Absolutely not. No. So we got them going. So there's your douchebags of the week right there, my friends. You're welcome to put your vote in the chat room right now if you're live with us as well. Otherwise, just send it to us at tellthewitch@yahoo.com. And Barb's laughing at something funny here. I don't know.
So far,
okay.
You can see the sunshine through her eyes.
Oh, so drop the mic right there. We'll drop the mic right there on that one there. Snap. Yes. Thank you very much. Awesome comments, my friend. Awesome. So, tellthewitch@yahoo.com after we're live to cast your votes. I think this is going to be a close one right here. I think
they might equally hated.
Absolutely. I give them vote for both of them, right now, as far as absolutely having no clue what they're doing as well. And I'm not an expert, but I can tell you they're not either. So, okay. All right, we'll move on to some more fun here too, and we'll wrap it up tonight because I know there's only so much that everybody can take of me. So, and that's okay. That's okay. I understand. So,
did you want to talk about Pikachu?
well, we'll talk about her in a minute, but I want to say give a special shout out to our friend Sharon Sunshine. Uh, she put together a great package there on YouTube that's been going on since last night. I think it was there for the after wrongful conviction day as well to honor at this. I just absolutely Eric Jose. I'm tearing up right now because I miss him. I really do. He became a good buddy very fast. But Sharon she put together just a wonderful thing, just to show a little bit of our old friend in action as well. And I've been peeking on it throughout the day. It's been tough to me to watch, I'll have to say, but I did. I said I did. I've been looking here and there as well, and talking to my buddy as well, because I hope he hears me. So thank you, Sharon. You are certainly loved in my household. I certainly love you, and I know a lot of our community does as well. So thank you, Sharon. And okay, we're going to finish up. We've got to give a little spotlight to our friend. Okay, it's Becca. So it's Becca Chew. Becca Chew. I still want to call her Pikachu for. Yeah, I know why she's got that name in honor of. So that just tells you how wonderful she is. So Becca Chew, I hope I'm saying it right. You are awesome, sweetie. You're awesome. And so, like I said, everybody, go over to that website, view her work, and let's help her out. Let's get her to Wisconsin. So, all right, Barb, you're saying what's the problem?
Because I'm watching it on YouTube.
Okay.
And it went quiet.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Okay.
So just repeat everything you just said.
Okay. I'm going to sit here and wait. Can everybody hear me? Did everybody hear me talking about Becca Chew? I know there's a delay, so I'll wait a moment here.
I think we might be okay. Maybe it's just my ears.
Maybe it's Barb just causing a problem.
You know.
Oh, yes. Boo and Bo forever. That's us. That's us as well.
Okay. Yeah, it's just
okay.
It's my crappy old computer.
Okay, it's just the computer that was on. Yeah, now just causing Barb problems as well. So okay. All right, upcoming. Right now, next week, we don't have a guest at the moment, but we might. You just never know. You just never know who might be coming. But I did invite a special guest. I'm not going to tell her name just yet. In 2 weeks, okay, we're going to have a special guest come on the show because I want some spotlight to be on her because she deserves it. So we'll have her in 2 weeks. We have AC Shilton going to be coming on in November. So that one is a for sure. Okay, so we got her coming as well, and I'm hoping to have some other guests as well to help save my show here, guys. Because I'll tell you, I'm turning this thing to I tell you. So okay, we're gonna figure it out. One day we're gonna have a good show. I tell you. But again, till that time, please tolerate us. Okay, bear with us. We'll get it right one day. So okay, so send those votes in for the douchebag power couple of the week to us as well. And of course, if you like I said, if you have anything you want to get Jenny's way or something Daniel's way as well, send it to the email here at the show or get it to me through Twitter. And
And in the chat, we did have Daniel's address.
okay, in the chat room is Daniel's address as well.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on Twitter as well. Okay, how you it's the PO box. I don't have it to post here at the moment here, but I will do that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get it. Yes,
Okay. Don't.
shared, yeah.
Okay, we'll get it out there as well if you need this. Like I said, we're working on this, folks. We're working on this. Okay. So now, can we finish with the good ending, Barb?
We're gonna try.
We're going to try to finish with our reminder ending of why we're here, who we're fighting for. So until next time, my friends, thank you so much. Take care and stay healthy.